Imagine being so breathtakingly beautiful that directors, photographers, and audiences fall silent the moment you enter a room. Imagine rising to Hollywood fame almost overnight. And imagine losing everything, your peace, your family, your health, because of one simple moment that changed your life forever. This is not just the story of a Hollywood icon. This is the haunting, heartbreaking, and unforgettable journey of Gene Tierney, the mesmerizing star whose beauty became both her blessing and her curse. 1. Early life, the making of a star. Jean Eliza Tierney was born on November 19, 1920, in Brooklyn, New York, into a wealthy and cultured family. Her father, Howard Tierney, was a successful insurance broker, while her mother, Belle Lavinia, had once dreamed of becoming an actress herself. Their family lived a privileged life, balancing refinement, education, and artistic exposure. From a very young age, Jean was different, intelligent, observant, and possessed of a natural poise that made people turn their heads even before she became famous. She excelled academically and developed strong writing skills, often publishing poems in school magazines. But there was one thing that would define her future more than anything else: her extraordinary beauty. People who met her often described her as too beautiful for this world, a phrase that would become eerily prophetic in her later years. 2. Discovering the stage, Jean's first taste of fame. During her teenage years, Jean traveled to Europe, where she spent time in Switzerland perfecting her French at a prestigious finishing school. While there, she watched operas, classical plays, and musical performances, and something inside her awakened. When she returned to the United States, she visited a film studio with her family. A cameraman, stunned by her looks, told her she should be in movies. Directors agreed, producers agreed, and Jean herself felt a spark. However, her father initially objected to the idea of a Hollywood career. He believed the film industry was too unstable and unpredictable. But Jean was determined. She pushed to pursue theater, and eventually, her father gave in, even helping her financially by creating a production company to manage her early career. Jean soon began stage training, working harder than anyone. She didn't want fame handed to her. She wanted to earn it. 3. Broadway breakthrough, the rise of a new icon. Jean's Broadway debut came in 1938 in the play, What a Life. Her performance was short, but critics noticed her immediately. Her next role in Ring 2 earned her standing ovations, and she quickly became one of Broadway's brightest newcomers. Hollywood agents began chasing her. Studios wanted to sign her. Offers poured in. In 1940, she finally accepted a contract from 20th Century Fox. From that moment on, Gene Tierney was no longer a rising star, she was a star. 4. Hollywood stardom, a face the camera loved. Gene Tierney's film career took off instantly. She appeared in Hudson's Bay, 1941, and The Shanghai Gesture, 1941, showing versatility and grace. But her breakthrough performance came in 1944 with the movie that would forever define her legacy. Laura. In Laura, Jean played a mysterious woman whose portrait captivates a detective. Her elegance, her haunting beauty, and her performance stunned audiences worldwide. The film became a classic, and critics agreed Gene Tierney had become one of the greatest actresses of her generation. But this was only the beginning. In 1945, she starred in Leave Her to Heaven, a psychological thriller. Her chilling performance earned her an Academy Award nomination for Best Actress. Fans adored her. Directors praised her. Hollywood placed her among legends. Behind the glamour, however, darkness was slowly entering Jean's life. 5. Personal life, a love story that changed everything. In 1941, Jean married fashion designer Oleg Cassini, a charismatic man with a strong personality. Their relationship was passionate but turbulent, filled with arguments and reconciliations. In 1943, during World War II, Jean became pregnant with their first child. She continued her public engagements, including visits to military camps for war bond events. One night, Jean went to the Hollywood Canteen, a club for soldiers. But what happened there would haunt her for the rest of her life. A fan at the canteen, who was sick with German measles, hugged her. Jean did not know she had been exposed. When her daughter Daria was born, doctors delivered devastating news. Daria was blind, deaf, and severely brain damaged due to congenital rubella syndrome. Gene was shattered. She blamed herself. She blamed fate. She blamed the career that had put her in the public eye. Her marriage soon fell apart. Her mental health would begin to crumble. 6. The hidden pain behind the beauty. Hollywood adored Gene's face, but her internal world was collapsing. She suffered from severe depression, guilt, and emotional breakdowns. Over the years, she sought treatment, but in the 1950s, mental health care was limited and often cruel. Gene was admitted to multiple clinics. She underwent electroshock therapy, sometimes without proper consent. The vibrant actress who once lit up screens now struggled to recognize herself. In her autobiography, she wrote that she felt like she was living in a fog, unable to escape the pain. The beauty that once made her famous now felt like a mask she could no longer wear. 7. A new love and a second chance. In the late 1950s, Gene's life slowly began to stabilize. She found support in unexpected places and eventually met W. Howard Lee, a wealthy Texas oilman who had once been married to Hedy Lamarr. Their romance was calm, stable, and healing, everything Gene's previous relationships had not been. They married in 1960. Gene retired from acting shortly after, choosing peace over fame. For the first time in years, she felt safe. 8. Later years, the battle continues. Gene enjoyed a quiet life in Texas with her husband. She wrote her autobiography, Self-Portrait, in 1979, which revealed the painful truth about her struggles. The book became critically acclaimed for its honesty. She spent her later years advocating for mental health awareness, long before it became widely accepted. Her story inspired countless others to seek help without shame. Yet despite the peace she found, Gene still carried the scars of her past, the loss of her daughter's normal life, the pressures of fame, and the trauma of institutional treatments. 9. Final years and legacy. Gene Tierney passed away on November 6, 1991, from emphysema at age 70. Her legacy, however, remains immortal. She is remembered as one of Hollywood's most breathtaking actresses, a talent whose performances still mesmerize audiences, a woman who faced unimaginable tragedy with courage, a survivor who spoke openly about mental health in a time of silence. Her face became iconic. Her films became timeless. Her story became unforgettable. Gene Tierney was not just a star, she was a symbol of beauty, strength, tragedy, and resilience. Gene Tierney's life teaches us a powerful lesson. Behind every glamorous face, behind every perfect performance, there is a human soul fighting battles we may never see. Her journey through fame, heartbreak, illness, and recovery reminds us that true beauty is not what the world sees, it's the strength we find within ourselves when the lights go out.